welcome to our NewsX podcast show, which is Get Candid with Chitvan. Today we are talking about a topic that every woman needs to know: breast and cervical cancer awareness. These are the two of the most common cancer among women in India until yet so many cases go undetected until it's too late. Joining in Madan Mohit Bhardwaj, who is founder of She Can Scan. Let's break the silence and talk prevention, early sign, and how awareness can truly save life. Hi, Madan. How are you?
Hi, Chitvan. First of all, my congratulations to you and your entire team to, but discussing and making people aware about such an important subject.
Yeah, yeah,
This should not be only in October; it should be around the year.
of course. So, my very first question to you, Madan: why are the breast and cervical cancer such major health concern for women today?
Uh, okay, so there are in 95% cases, it's because of the lifestyle.
Yeah.
And if we look at the data now in India, so as per the data, some 20 years back. And if you compare us with, India itself, UP and Maharashtra, these are the state where numbers are very, very high. These are the alarming numbers now.
Hmm.
In fact, in India, I would say as of now, 3 to 4 out of 100 cases are, that's there in India.
Yeah.
If we look at the Western countries or United States, the numbers are 10 out of 100. So it's basically, it's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
When we see the difference,
Mhm.
and if you look at this in a very small town, wherever in the country, you would find, you'd find a lot of their number would be one number out of 300.
Of course.
I am uh, this my statement should not make any controversy, but
Hmm.
yes, in a small town or earlier there used to be early marriages, early kids,
Yeah.
and they used to breastfeed the babies for a longer period for at least 1 2 years.
That's true. Yeah.
They used to be, if you look at the small town also, so the village, in a village or a small town, a
Hmm.
lady would be doing a lot of physical work. Either she's, from cooking to cleaning to going to farming, a lot of other work she'll do.
Hmm.
So it means there is a physical work was also happening. Now, because of the lifestyle, too much of constant stress, and I would say I'm talking about the breast cancer especially now,
Yeah.
and I'm
Work stress.
saying
Hmm.
uh, the food which we are, which people are having these days, like processed meat, processed food, which is a class one carcinic foods.
Yeah.
And then, excess of liquor, excess of smoking. These are some factors which are bringing women going in a danger zone when it comes to breast cancer.
Yeah.
Cervical cancer is mostly I would use a word for not keeping the personal hygiene very, very fair.
Hmm.
Also to have you know I mean unprotected intercourses,
Yeah.
and there are various reasons. These are just very few reasons we are talking about,
Hmm.
and that's the reason, because the lifestyle is mostly causing cancer. And in 5% cases, I would call it hereditary. There are, cases there
Hmm.
where the cancer is coming from the mother, grandmother, daughter. That's how, Chitwan.
So, do these cancer shows any early sign or any they most silently?
Uh, that's a very good question you asked me, actually. If we look at any scientific evidence, so cancer has four stage:
Yeah.
stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. A different cancer has a different sign.
Yeah.
But in most of the cases in the breast cancer, generally we don't find any sign in in stage 1.
Hmm.
In 60% cases we don't find any sign, but yes, in 40% cases we find, the there's a lump. Okay, so we
Okay.
find lump, And painless lump especially is very, very dangerous.
Hmm.
So if it is a painless lump, then it's danger.
Okay.
And if there is a pain, then there's a less danger. But if there's a lump which is dangerous, then the I would say nipple discharge, that's also dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
So these are some of the signs which we should not avoid. Right, we should be
Right.
very, very careful, and that's the reason I would suggest at least once in a month,
Hmm.
women who are in 20s, they should also go for a self examination.
Of course.
For self examination, there is a SOP, which I'm sure they would know better, or
Hmm.
even if they don't know, they should discuss with the medical expert.
Yeah.
Left hand, right breast, right right hand, left breast. So generally, as a layman, uh,
Mm-hmm.
uh, if one need to understand that that lump is an alarm
Yeah.
which we should not avoid. We should not take it very casual.
Of course. So, what
And
symptom? Yeah.
sorry,
What
so
symptoms should women never ignore?
so symptoms, as I said, if there is, okay, so there are uh, mostly cancer has two major factors. One we discussed as lifestyle,
Yeah.
another one is as hereditary.
Hmm.
So let's say if somebody's grandmother had it at the age of 45,
Okay.
and now the grandmother is no more,
Hmm.
but when she had cancer, she was 45, and then the chances is that the mother will also have.
Hmm.
Let's say if mother also had the cancer,
Hmm.
and mother is now 65. Okay.
Okay.
So the third generation, any daughter, okay, or maybe son from one side, okay, that at least 20 years of the age of that whosoever was diagnosed cancer, they should start screening.
Okay.
In in most of the cases, uh, people people are not that proactive that they should go for a screening, early screening.
Yeah.
Here, at She Can Scan, we promote that early screening is the only cure.
Of course.
The early the screening, the cure is always better.
Yeah.
Also, even if you diagnosed with stage 1 cancer,
Mm-hmm.
you 99% cases, the patient the patient the patient will live longer. They'll not die.
Yeah.
Uh, and we believe that there's a difference between diagnostic and screening.
Of course.
For our viewers and readers, it is very, very important to understand that diagnostics generally are on symptom based.
Hmm.
Screening is more about being proactive about your health. So that's the reason that after not even after after 20s, one should once in a year, especially in 30s, once in a year you should go for a mammogram.
Yeah.
Every month after the 3 days of the cycle,
Okay.
every month after
Mm-hmm.
2 3 days of cycle, one should go for a self examination.
Okay.
We should not examine the breast every day. If you will examine your breast every day, you will be in a
Hmm.
doubt and you will never get
Of
to know
course.
this.
Of course. Of course. So,
So
hmm.
stage 1 is mostly silent. In most of the cases, if you look at the US and India, so number of deaths are more in India,
Hmm.
but the number of cases are more in US.
Of course. Yeah.
The reason the number of mortalities are higher in India, because we don't get ourselves screened at the early stage.
Hmm. True.
We only get ourselves diagnosed one, it is stage 3, stage 4. It is, there are too many symptoms and we are avoiding it
Yeah. At the peak time.
at the peak time. Over to you,
Yeah.
Chitvan.
So, how does regular screening make a difference?
Okay. Uh, the regular screening is very important.
Hmm.
One need to, our viewers need to, listeners need to understand cancer will remain here, cancer will not go.
Hmm.
The early you get yourself screened, the early you'll be cured even if there is a cancer and you will live. 95% cases may, when
Hmm.
we are talking about breast cancer, I tell most of the patients that breast cancer is, hardly when is a stage 4 is then only I would say, but mostly people get survive in stage 1. And the treatment is also cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
And people should be very very careful for screening. There is a myth that you know the mammograms involves high level of radiation. Of
Okay.
course there was a time when
Yeah.
the the machines were producing too much of uh, the radiation, but now there are technology.
Hmm.
It's a very very minimal radiation is there. And don't be in a confusion that I'm in 20s.
Hmm.
It's a biggest myth that I'm in 20s, I will not have a breast cancer. Even if you are in your 20s, you should do a self examination. In 30s, once in a year, there should be a screening. Like we do a normal routine checkup of our blood, urine.
Mm-hmm.
Similarly, we should make screening, cancer screening as part of our daily, yearly routine checkup.
Hmm.
And this checkup will always tell you, will prepare you that, you know, even if you have a symptom or there is a hereditary chances, then you should regularly do it.
Yeah.
With the breast cancer, it's mostly about the density of the breast, right? So if you find anything abnormal,
Mm-hmm.
don't ever, never ever, go and search on internet.
Of
Don't
course.
believe in the scientific or non-medical advices.
Hmm.
Go for the checkup, and that's the only solution as of now I find.
Hmm.
Because if you look at the other countries, there in fact your insurance would also be applicable when you go for a mammogram. And
Very
that's the
true.
reason
Hmm.
at the early stage they detect, even if there is somebody, they get screened and
Hmm.
their treatment becomes more easier. Over to you, Chitvan.
Is it true that breast cancer only affects women over 40s?
That's what I said. It's a biggest myth.
Yeah. So my
So
next,
cancer,
yeah, yeah.
breast cancer is happening even at the age of 20 also.
Mm-hmm.
And sadly, there is no as such scientific reason, I would say. Like, for an example, ki, uh, there is no scientific reason which could say that the, the, the cancer has happened due to this. Most of the patients, when they visit us,
Hmm.
they find the first question they ask, what I have done that I have got a cancer. What was my mistake?
Yeah.
I have never had liquor, never had tobacco.
Yeah.
I always had a very good lifestyle. Then also I had, and to your surprise, even the sadhvis are having breast cancer. And those who had a very balanced lifestyle, they got up at 4 a.m., they
Hmm.
slept at 8 p.m., they never had, always had a very rich food, right? Uh, no liquor, no tobaccos, no excess of liquor, no excess of tobaccos. So that's some of the reasons we should be very careful, because sometime the cancer stage 1 will not speak. So the better is to get ourselves screened. Screening is very very
Very
important.
important. Yeah.
That's the only thing
Hmm.
which can save our life.
Of course. Can cervical cancer actually be prevented?
Uh, Partially yes.
Okay.
it could be prevented
Mm-hmm.
if we could keep a very good hygiene, and a regular pap smear should be done. In fact, now the gynecologist I meet, uh, you know, uh, we generally share and discuss that pap smear should be mandatory after 35.
Okay.
That generally women should get it done,
Mm-hmm.
and the myths around that pap smear is uneasy process, pap smear is little unhygienic. It's a biggest myth. uh, Getting a pap smear done in a year should be a part of your ritual, yearly ritual. And if you look at the pap smear, sorry, the cervical cancer cases in India now, it has gone down. The only reason is that women in India had adopted more hygiene, more personal hygiene.
Of course.
So, even if you will have cervical cancer, stage one, stage two, it's purely curable. It's stage three, stage four. Uh, Chances are that 80%, 70%, I would say, it's curable, it's treatable. The only solution, the only problem comes when we ignore signs, we ignore the symptoms,
Yeah.
and we wait for the time when our body starts, crying. Then we go for a pap smear and other screening. We
Yeah.
should not do this,
Of course.
Chitvan.
What role do lifestyle choice play in lowering cancer risk?
Uh, that's very, that's a very uh, good question, I would say, because it is, in most of the cases, as I said, 90% it is because of the lifestyle.
Yeah.
So when we were discussing about two cases,
Mm-hmm.
one in US, one in India, especially Delhi NCR or Bombay, then the third case study was of a village in rural area.
Hmm.
So let's do a analysis of three lifestyle we discussed:
Okay.
US, metro cities, and village. So number of cases are higher in US and metro cities, and villages, a small town has lesser numbers.
Yeah.
Now let's see and discuss their lifestyle. So they got up uh, late in morning, no exercise, then got ready, went in a AC car,
Hmm.
sat in a AC office,
Yeah.
came back from there, then go went for a movie or maybe for a party or maybe after office, then had a alcohol, and then ordered a pizza, burger, or any
The
processed
fast
meat,
food,
processed
like,
food,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
This is one case. Uh, Very, very late marriage.
Late
Why I'm
night
saying
sleep
this,
cycle.
it should not spark any controversy. I'll just tell you the technical support also why I'm saying this.
Mm-hmm.
And then even if they got married late, let's say in the 40s or in late 30s, then late kids
Hmm.
or no kids.
Yeah.
That was a culture in Western countries. Then even if they had kids, no breastfeeding. This is one lifestyle.
Yeah.
Another lifestyle in a small town or a village, uh, they got up early in the morning. They do a physical exercise by any way, maybe contributing to daily cleaning, dusting, whatever,
Hmm.
feeding to the animals, taking dog out on a walk, exercise, gymming, anything. Number one.
Hmm.
They went to office, had a very good diet, like mostly homemade food, no processed food,
Yeah.
fresh salad, nutritional food. In the evening, they came home, they did exercise, yoga, whatever XYZ. Okay. Also, in the you know, then they, even if they got married,
Hmm.
whatever age, let's say in 20s or early 30s, they had early kids. So mostly women in rural, women in a small town or rural India, the culture was to get married little early.
Yeah.
Early means, I'm not saying
At your
30s and 40s, I'm
20s.
saying
Yeah.
20, 20, 22, 24,
Mm-hmm.
25, whatever
Yeah.
age. Even if they had a kid, they would go for a breastfeeding for at least 2 years. Okay.
Yeah.
Hardly they would have a alcohol. Even if they take, that's not an issue. But excess of alcohol is bad. Okay, even if there is smoking, okay, fine, smoking, okay, but there should not be a chain smoking and excess of smoking.
Of course.
Fine.
Yeah.
So in the cases where we discuss the lifestyle of a in any Western country
Mm-hmm.
or any metro cities, we found the number of case studies were higher. Number of cases were higher. People who adopted this lifestyle.
Yeah.
You will never, you will hardly hear cancer. Still in villages, you will hardly hear that people, or 20 years back, people had it.
Hmm.
So lifestyle plays a very, very important role. One thing which we missed in this conversation, in this, I would add on now. Uh, the one thing is uh, constant stress. For example, I had to give you interview. We had to shoot this interview now.
Yeah.
I was supposed to join from my office.
Yeah.
I could not join due to some unavoidable situations.
Yeah.
Traffic is one of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I take a stress. No, I had to do this interview. I had to do this
Hmm.
interview. I had to do this interview. Oh my God, shit! I lost this interview, and this is
Hmm.
very important. And this would remain. This would disturb my entire day.
Of course.
Or or let's say my one of my family member, one of my colleague, they said something which is not as per my wish list.
Hmm.
I didn't like it. Okay, fine. I may have a different opinion.
Yeah.
This these annoying thoughts will trigger stress.
Yeah. Of
And
course.
a constant stress is
Hmm.
a major factor in cancer cases.
Of course. Very true.
Overthinking.
So my next question to you: there is a myth about bra causing breast cancer. Is that true?
Uh, that's a myth.
Okay.
Uh, because there is no scientific evidence.
Mm-hmm.
However, the tight bras, even during the sleep, even if somebody is wearing,
Mm-hmm.
may stop. This may disturb the blood circulation. There could be other risk factors. We should generally avoid it.
Hmm.
But this could not be the major factor, or I would say this could not be a reason of a cancer.
Okay.
Of course, I'm not saying that even if people sleeps for 30 years with the uh, tightened bra and this
Hmm.
uh, during the night, they
Yeah.
will not have cancer. They will have a cancer. I will not say like this, but yes,
Mhm.
we should avoid. There is no scientific evidence that bras causes cancer.
Yeah. So is self-examination enough, or do we still need professional screening?
I have very different opinion on this, uh,
Okay.
which uh, which is my personal opinion
Okay.
with my experience in looking at the cancer cases.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Girls and women we interact, most of the cases they have shared with our team that self examination is little confusing.
Hmm.
It is little difficult,
Yeah.
and they can't find out the fact that you know so uh, lump and whatever size of the breast or a nipple discharge
Hmm.
could cause anything. There is no cause. Uh, these are some of the signs. So you asked me about the self examination.
Yeah.
I would rather say I would rather say if you are in your 30s or late 20s, in your 20s,
Hmm.
go once in a clinical examination. Self examination should be a monthly ritual
Hmm.
after 2 3 days of a cycle. Okay. And and this should be discussed in families. Ignore these early signs. These signs are basically, it's cancer speaking to your body.
Hmm.
In most of the cases I see, जब तक bleeding नहीं होने लगता है, जब तक the skin is not coming out of your body, then only people says कि नहीं अभी तो मेरे को हो गया. Then they curse
Hmm.
themselves. And uh, this is little unfortunate to see that in India, cancer is uh, cancer is being treated as a death sentence.
Yeah.
When I said death sentence, it means जैसे आप बॉलीवुड फिल्मों में देखिए, that's a very wrong culture. कि
Hmm.
अगर किसी को कैंसर हुआ है, तो वो कैंसर जब होता है तो जनरली उसके फैमिली के अटेंडेंट को बुलाया जाता है कि आप जरा साइड में आइए, आपसे
Hmm.
कुछ पर्सनल बात करनी है.
Yeah.
एंड दे विल कॉल दी फैमिली मेंबर और बोलेंगे कि अब आपको जो भी काम करना है, फैमिली को जो भी इनकी शादी करानी है, बैंकिंग का काम है, जो भी काम करना है आप कर लीजिए, इनके पास बहुत टाइम बचा नहीं है.
Hmm.
देयर इज नो साइंटिफिक मेथड वेयर एनी डॉक्टर कुड से कि ये 1 साल जिएंगे, 6 महीने जिएंगे. सो कैंसर, so treating cancer is mostly, it's individuals willpower.
Yeah.
Apart from the treatment, I'm saying
Hmm.
it's not the cancer where a patient die. It's the I would say a very it's the treatment process,
Hmm.
because cancer is very very expensive.
Yeah.
And that's the reason in the initial discussion of this interview I said
Hmm.
early screening means early cure.
Of course.
If you not get yourself screened at the early stage, and
Hmm.
you got to know that you have a stage 3 stage 4 cancer, it's going to be very very expensive for you,
Hmm.
no doubt. And the entire process is going to be very very I would say uh, you know traumatic. So cancer should not be treated as a death sentence, which we were discussing.
Hmm.
Even if somebody had got it, there are one need to understand, or initially once someone get to know, oh, I'm sorry to say, but no, in the cases, शुरू में 2 4 5 दिन जितना परेशान होना है, रोना है, one should do it,
Yeah.
but then they should decide now how to go for a further treatment. Or there is no, not even 10 cases में I have found कि patient का कोई गलती है. There
Hmm.
is no mistake which a patient has done it. As I said, that even religious sadhvis are having it,
Yeah.
right? Somebody who did not have a liquor and tobacco in the life, they are also catching the cancer. So it means that because of the lifestyle, food, and a lot of other factors, there are chances that cancer may catch us. We will have to be very careful. We will have to, we will, we shall ensure that self-examination and yearly clinical screening is very, very important. Chitvan.
So, what's one thing every woman should start doing today for her health?
Whoever is watching and listening to us, please do not take this podcast very lightly, because we are here to discuss and
Hmm.
tell you
Yeah.
as our loved one that nobody should have this. But even after listening such a podcast, such a informating and life teaching podcast will not make us ensure to follow some protocols with our life,
Hmm.
then it's purely our mistake. I would say uh, clinical screening should be part of your yearly ritual. Number one. Number two, self-examination of breast on a year on a monthly basis should be part of the month. As I said, after 2 3 days of the cycle.
Yeah.
Three. Fourth, even if you are not sexually active, I'm making another big statement here. Because people say that who are sexually active, that's mandatory for them. I say even if you're not sexually active and you are in your 30s, you should get pap smear done every year. Do not, uh, even if somebody wanted to have, we shall be very, very careful for our hygiene when we are into, when we are starting intercourse. It's very important, you know, uh, to keep a good hygiene.
Yeah.
Will lower down the risk of cancer. And of course, to make 45 minutes, 30 minutes at least, 30 minutes exercise. Exercise, when I say exercise, it never means to take your phone and go for 30 minutes for a walk.
Yeah.
And सारे phone खत्म करके घर में वापस आना. That's not exercise.
Yeah. True.
Right? So 30 minutes of exercise where you are sweating. It should be part of your day. And too much of alcohol we should avoid. 30 ml, 30 ml, okay, fine. But every day, alcohol would surely increase the risk of cancer.
Gosh.
I'm not saying that everyday alcohol would make, will bring cancer, but this would increase the risk of cancer. Mammogram is not, pap smear will never bring cervical cancer to you. Mammogram is not, I would say it's not harmful. It is important. It should be part of your yearly ritual. So at Cheek and Scan, we also tell our most of the patients, or not patients, in fact, everyone, they should come forward. They should go for their life. They should go for a yearly screening. Cancer screening is very, very important. Early the detection, cure is there is surely a cure, and the cheaper is treatment. So stage one, uh, I have in most of the cases I've seen stage one cancer was treated even in 15 lakhs rupees. So it's not that difficult to get once screened yourself at a, at the center, Chitvan.
So, awareness, early detection, and timely screening. That's the real trio power against breast and cervical cancer. So, ladies, don't wait for symptoms. Make screening a part of your self care routine. This is Chitvan Bhatnagar, and you've been listening to Get Candid with Chitvan. Stay aware, stay healthy, and as usual, stay candid. Thank you, Madan.
Thank you very much.